welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what I'm going to be doing is showing you some more advanced methods of making jewellery out of resin. And I'm going to show you some techniques that I use just to give it a bit of a lift to some of your resin jewellery. Before I can go ahead and start the pouring of the resin in the jewellery, what I need to do is ensure that the open back bezels are all nicely stuck down. I'm using a damming tape here, and again I will link this in the description below along with everything else that I use today. And it's only the open back bezels that need this. Now it's inevitable that you're going to get a couple of leaks. Sometimes you don't get any, which is fabulous, but other times you do. And if you get a leak, I'm going to show you how you can get that leak off without ruining the piece. So they're all nice and sat on there really well. Hopefully there won't be any leaks. With the cufflinks, because of the way that they're shaped, you can't prop them up. And again, I use the blue tack here for this. If you're doing a lot, then I also use the Oasis foam, and I'm working on this board so that I can move this off if I need to be able to get on with something else. So I just create a nice flat level surface there for me to work on, and that'll stay in there until the resin is dry. Some of these I'm going to have to do a bit of prep work for, certainly the cufflinks I am, and what I'm going to use for this is good old nail varnish. If you don't want those silver backs in there, but you want to kind of put a dome on them, I just put them in like this, and it's kind of pot luck what the colour is. But I do try and match up the amount that I'm putting in so that you've got as much of a pair as you can possibly get with them. I'm just going to take my little micro brushes and make bit of a pattern in these so that it's all going to the edges and all that silver base is completely covered up. And now I'm going to give it a bit of a swirl as well and bring some of those colours through to make them a little bit more interesting. And now I'm going to let those dry up. You can also do this with pendants. Quite a bit of this in here. Paint that through. That's kind of like my pouring colour, or my base pouring colour. And now again, all I'm going to do is drop some other colours into that base. I am so messy. And there we go. I will leave that now to do its own thing, move around, go where it needs to go. The same for these. And then once they're nicely dry, I will show you what I'm going to do next. The next thing I want to do is prep something to put in a mould. Now, I've got this beautiful end of a peacock feather, and it is really, really pretty. But unfortunately, whenever you add resin to a peacock feather, what will happen is it strips it all out, and you lose all the lovely iridescence and the colours of the peacock feather. I want to put this in here, so I've got half of the peacock feather on one side and half on the other. But if you cut this, what you'll do is you'll lose a lot of the fronds off it. I'm going to seal this in some packing tape. I lay it flat on the packing tape. I'm now going to push that down, and you can see from that side you've got a nice clear side. And then I'm going to pop another piece of tape over the back of it. Don't need to line it up, but what you do need to try and do, which is I haven't really achieved here, is get it as crinkle free as possible. But I'm not too worried about this one because I'm going to put this on top of something else. So I'm going to have a different backing colour here, probably a gold or something. So make sure that is nicely sealed down so that resin can't get into it at all. So now I can cut this evenly in half without having to worry, because none of those bits are going to come off. They're all nicely sealed in there. And I'm also going to cut around it to get rid of all that additional stuff that I don't need. I can measure that on there, and I know that I now need to cut around there. There we go, and that fits in there nicely. And the same for this one. I'll carry on and do that, and then that's my prep work done. They're still really simple, they just give you really lovely effects. I'm using the J Diction epoxy resin to make this jewellery with, and I'll also be using their UV resin later on. It's a brilliant resin. I will leave the link for it in the description below, and it's readily available. I've mixed up some mica powder into this resin, and this is going to be the base or the background for my feathers. So I'm just going over it now, making sure that I get rid of all the bubbles, because you know I don't like those bubbles, and then popping in my feathers right to the very edge. It may have worked a little better if I'd have left this cure up a little bit more, but actually it works out really fine. And regarding the cufflinks, what I'm doing is I'm popping over the top now the epoxy resin and doming these up, and then once these are cured, they'll actually be finished. And I use a pipette for this because I just find it's much easier for me. I would also like to say a quick thank you to all my members whose names are coming up now. Thank you for being a member, and if you'd like to become a member, the link for that is in the description below. So just pop in some bubbles and now filling up the open back bezels. I'm just pouring in a little bit of the clear resin, and at the same time just covering up the feathers. Now what I'm using here is some glitter, and that had been sitting around for about 10-15 minutes, so it had gone quite thick, which is ideal for this because I just wanted to have lots of different colours. I'm doing the same here on this leaf, because when you've had it sitting around for about 10-15 minutes and then you put it into some freshly mixed resin, what you'll find is it won't move around. So again, popping those bubbles, getting rid of them, and filling up these final bits with just that leftover resin. I would like to just say a quick thank you to everyone that got me a coffee last month. It really does help me and gets your name on my coffee board. The link for that is in the description below. So filling these up with some gold and silver leaf just to create a base, because you'll see what I do with those a little bit later on after I've topped them up and it's cured. Well, the jewellery's all nice and cured now, and unfortunately I did have a little slip up with it. I did have a couple of leaks, and I actually, with this one, the bangle one, what I ended up doing was dropping something on it which caused it to go over, and then as a result the resin itself went over. So I need to take care of that. But I just want to quickly show you how beautiful nail varnish painted on really does come out, and there's a great dome on that as well. Look at the dome on that, and that's without doing any doming. And the same for the cufflinks. Now all you need to do is just take them out of the blue tack, and then you've got some beautiful cufflinks, and they do look like a pair. That's the great thing about them, because we use the same colours. Even if it's not the same pattern, it's still, because it's the same colours, they look like a great pair. Now I'm really pleased with how those come out, and I may even wear them on Christmas Day. Those bits come out lovely as well, and we need to tidy this up. Now while this is still soft, what you'll find is this resin will just pull off any of the areas where you don't want it if you get little accidents like this. It's once it goes completely hard, you're absolutely going to have to work at getting it out. So there we go, that's tidied up nice, and that kind of matches that. I wish I'd put a little bit more. I should have painted the bottom of that one. That might have helped. Now regarding these will come out really easily, because again they're on the tape, and all I need to do, because this is soft, and that's why I always think it's good check things first rather than just leave them for days. Then once it's cured up, it's a lot harder to get off. That should just pick off all the way around there, and then you would never know it was there. And it's also not going to do any damage to the metal on here. And I use my little pliers, tweezers, even if, let's call them tweezers, because really that's what they are. I'm just gibbering on really now, because I do like them a little gibber on. I'm now going to dome these up. So let's take these out of the mould, and these are the little feathers. And as you can see, no loss of colour in those whatsoever. Cannot see the area where the tape was. This one and this one was where I put the glitter and colourants in that were already mixed up and had been sitting around for a while, so they don't move around. I could do those easily just with epoxy, but I'm not going to, because as I said, I want to do some different effects with them, and so I'm going to show you what they are, and that is what gives them a little lift. So while I'm doing that, I might as well do these ones as well with the J-Diction UV resin. And I have to say, this is one of the best UV resins I've ever used. It certainly is a brilliant value, and not only do they do it in this size bottle, but to make it better value for everyone, they also do it in a double pack, and it is such good value. So I also have another little gadget, which is this, and this is designed for curing or helping to cure UV resin, and is absolutely amazing. It does such a great job. It's run by the mains. It means you don't have to keep standing over it with a torch. It is not at all expensive. I will link it in the description below, but believe me, it cures up so much and so quickly, and it does it on a turntable. So what I want to do with the feathers is I only actually want to build that up around the feathers itself. I'm going to be using these little micro brushes, but I'm going to be taking the little fluffy bits off the micro brushes. I'm only left with that, and the reason is I don't want those little brushy bits getting into my resin. These really, really help. And this is where I will use a torch, and the reason I'll use a torch on this to start with is because as I pour this, I want to cure it up so it doesn't move. So this is the only bit that I'm kind of using a torch on, because I want to draw around these like that, and that'll hold that in place enough so that I can get quite a nice deep filling for that. And then I'm going to fill that in on both of them. So that is the only bit that's kind of domed and magnified. And I just think that gives it a really nice finish. And I may put 2 coats of that on to give it a really good dome. And I'll pop that into my machine. Normally I would do quite a few at once, but I'll pop that in now so that can be doing while I'm doing the rest, and turn that on. So that is now working, and the light will come off automatically once I open the door, so it's very safe. So that is all now working, and that will be running for about 5 minutes. So with these ones, what I want to do with these is I've got gold and silver leaf in them, but I want to add some little balls of gold and silver leaf to them. It's a lot more fiddly if I'm doing that with epoxy resin, because it takes a while for it to cure, and as a result it might move around. So with the UV resin I find it's much easier to get this effect from. And then all I need to do is put some of my UV resin on top of that. And UV resin is lovely and viscous. And if ever you think it's going to leak over, just quickly bang it with the light. And that's a good way of building it up. To get it fully cured, I will put it in my light box that I've got. And I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. And with these, I'm just going to use it as a normal doming resin. So pop a bit in the middle, and then I'm using this to move it around into all the areas that I want it. And there, that will magnify it. I don't want it to be too deep a dome, but I do want it to be domed. And like I said, I'm not normally a crafter with UV resin, but since I've discovered this J. Diction UV resin, I've really started to use it a lot more, and it goes such a long way. And normally UV resin is really expensive, but because of this value of this, then it's not as expensive as it used to be. And then if there's any little bubbles in this, you can either wait a second and leave them, or you can just use these little plastic sticks to get it out. Like there was one there and there's one there. Well, these are all finished now. I'm really pleased with how they've come out, especially the depth of the dome that comes up. As you can see there, it really is pretty, and you've got that nice suspended glitter and colouring in there. This technique is so easy to do and to get a really beautiful pattern with using the nail varnish. You can see that in the cufflinks, how iridescent it is and how pretty that comes up. And the same for these 2 pieces where I've added the extra bits of the gold leaf. They give a really nice 3D look to them. And these are the pieces that I domed up just using one side. And I love the way that that dome comes out. And it really does magnify how pretty those feathers are. The great thing about the UV box is it cures stuff up, so it's really nice and hard. There's no stickiness left whatsoever, and it makes life so much easier. Doing some more advanced techniques with resin doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to mean that you've got to put a lot of extra work in. It's just about changing up what you're doing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please boop the like button if you found this to be useful. It really does help my videos to get around to other people. And if you're a first-time viewer, then hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I will leave the links to everything that I've used today in the description below, along with the link to buy me a coffee if you'd like to buy me a coffee. Take care, enjoy your resin, bye.